Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews. Today we are going to check out the final of the newest Sound Strike figures from Mattel for the Camp Cretaceous line. You can see that as far as this one goes, we have a beautiful looking Triceratops. I really quite like the paint scheme of this newest version of the Triceratops. And then package-wise, we of course have your standard Camp Cretaceous packaging. An image here, a sneak peek of the action feature of the Triceratops over there. And then once we turn it around, we can take a look here at the back. Again, some more demonstrations of the action feature. We also have an image of the other two figures in the Sound Strike wave that we are currently at, and then we also have an image of the booklet right here. So really cool. Cannot wait to get this out and take a look at it because I am quite the fan of the Mattel Triceratops. Even though we've had about a bajillion of them already so far, I never seem to get truly tired of these Triceratops figures. So let's go ahead, break this out of the packaging and take a look at it right now. So here is our newest version of the Mattel Triceratops, and definitely a beautiful looking Triceratops. The way that blue plays off of that dark gray is awesome. This is definitely not that colorful as far as like the different variations of color used, because there's only really, it seems like, two different tones of color. You've got that dark gray and then the blue. Oh, actually, I notice now there's an alternate color of blue, so we do have two variations of blue on the top of the figure as well. But I think that the overall appearance of this is really appealing, even notwithstanding the fact that there's not that much, variation of paint included. It's pretty basic as far as that goes. I still think it looks absolutely gorgeous as far as the way that that blue plays off of that dark gray. Really cool looking. So I'm definitely psyched about this already. Let's go ahead and get a closer look at it right now. So just like with every one of the Sound Strike figures in this wave, we have reviewed the sculpt of the Triceratops before as well. We've reviewed it numerous times, I think, at this point, so we don't really need to review it again, but just basically take a look at what's new. And actually, now that I have it up here in the light, initially it kind of looked like it was a dark gray to me, but now having it up here in the light, you can really see that it's actually more of a brown, which is quite interesting, the way that that kind of plays tricks on my eyes depending on the light. But you can see up here in the face, we have the very nice kind of an off-white coloration for the beak, the three horns, as well as the horns that kind of run along the frill of the Triceratops, and that's pretty much it as far as that goes. And then we also have, of course, this nice dark brown, which is a very appealing looking color. And then you also have the blue, and the blue kind of litters all over the frill, and look at how incredibly cool it looks. It's a very nice tone of blue, and it plays off of that darker brown so well. Such a very flashy and appealing look to the Triceratops. I absolutely love the way that blue plays off of that brown. And then as far as the eyes go, we have a nice greenish coloration and a black pupil for the eyes as well. Looks to be painted pretty nicely. You can see there's actually a little tiny hint of the green that's run up here into the eyebrow area, or up in above the eye at least, right there, but I don't think that is such a minute little area of sloppiness that I don't think it takes away from the figure at all. And then moving back here into the back, you can see it starts out with that same similar blue that we saw up on the frill, and it just kind of litters and designs all over the side of the dinosaur. But then once we get back here, it transitions to a darker blue, and that blue runs down here. It doesn't run out onto the tail, which is a little bit of a downside, but it does still kind of litter all over the side of the dinosaur. It looks pretty cool overall. And then the rest of the body is just that nice dark brown that we've seen in the face area. There's no difference in color, I think, as far as that dark brown goes. It's pretty much the same everywhere. We don't have any alternate paint variation here on the underside. There is the Jurassic Facts app if you would like to add this to your collection, though. And actually, speaking of paint variation, you can see the speckles here on the foot. So this one does include kind of like some dark speckling like Mattel does often include. But other than that, there's not really anything else going on paint-wise. You can see it's just the two different variations of the blues and then the dark brown. The nails don't have any alternate paint or anything to them. It's just that dark brown as well. Other than that, the only areas of coloration would be the beak, the horns, and the eyes, and that's it. So, really cool looking paint scheme, nothing amazing, nothing super crazy, but definitely a very appealing look for the Triceratops. Now, as far as action features and articulation, we do have articulation in the neck, and then, of course, the tail. That's how we'll operate the action feature. Other than that, we do have articulation here in the front legs. They move forward and back, and they move individually. They don't move together. The legs seem like they move away from the body a little bit, but not much. And then in the rear legs, we also have articulation. It's almost like a crunching noise when I moved it right there, because I haven't moved it previously. But again, they move independently and really smoothly, and they also move out away from the body like they usually do when it comes to Mattel figures. And then the action feature, we use the tail to operate the head. Lots of really nice herbivore noises for us there, some nice Triceratops-like noises, and a really cool action feature that works quite well. As far as a size goes, for a length from the head there to the tail, you are looking at about the 11-inch range, maybe a little bit over, maybe closing in on 11¼ inches, or about 29 centimeters, and then the highest point would be the back. And you are going to see if I can get this in the right spot. The back is going to come in at about 4¼ inches or 11 centimeters. Probably doesn't look like that from your angle. I had to kind of crouch down a little bit and look at it head on, but that's about what it is. As far as the size comparison goes, there is Mr. Papo T-Rex, the Attack Pack Dilophosaurus, and Robert Muldoon from the Mattel Jurassic World toy line next to our newest Sound Strike variant of the Triceratops from Mattel. And you can see, as always, that as far as this figure goes, it sports some really good size. These Sound Strike figures are always quite large, and you can definitely get a good idea of that in comparison to these other figures right here. So this newest version of the Triceratops, the Sound Strike Triceratops from Mattel for the Jurassic World toy line, is a really nice figure. Of course, if you've already owned any of the previous Triceratops from Mattel, you already have this sculpt. There's no need to absolutely rush out and buy it, as it's like nothing new and crazy and amazing. Sculpt-wise, it's the same Triceratops sculpt that we've had numerous times already. However, we do have that really cool action feature on this one that a lot of the previous Triceratops did not include. But even being a reused sculpt, the sculpt of the Mattel Triceratops is absolutely beautiful. A very nice and very highly detailed sculpt in every aspect. It is incredibly well done and really nicely matches up to the version of the Triceratops that you see in Jurassic World. Paint-wise, however, we have a very interesting and new paint scheme for the figure with a very nice mixture of some dark browns and some blues, and I think it looks so cool and so striking overall. I really love the coloration of this Triceratops. It's, again, nothing amazing paint-wise. There's not too much to it. It's just that one solid tone of brown and then the two different variations of blues, but the way the blue plays off of that dark brown is very appealing to me, really nice and pleasing to the eye, I think. So this may be one of the nicest looking Triceratops releases from Mattel, if you ask me, just because the actual application of the paint is so cool looking. But again, the action feature works really well. It's pretty much your standard action feature that you would expect to find for a Triceratops, with like kind of a rearing up position for the head, where the head can kind of strike and attack whatever other dinosaur that you are going to include with it. But it works really well, nice and smooth, and also allows for some really cool noises to come from the Triceratops. So as far as this Triceratops goes, it is yet another awesome addition to the Mattel Jurassic World toy line. Nothing amazing, nothing, that you absolutely have to get, but if you do happen to encounter it, I recommend picking it up because it's a really nicely done version of a Mattel Triceratops yet again. So if you would like to pick this up, my suggestion to you is to head to your local Target, as that's pretty much the only place I know of currently selling these newest Sound Strikes in the United States. So make sure you check your local Target, pick up this really cool Triceratops if it is in fact there, and make sure you also like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.